Right, this is take 2 of the sewing in video. I've done one, but didn't film it. So, luckily, as you know, we've got 4 on the go, so hopefully this one will work. I'm going to sew my signatures into this cover. I haven't decorated any of the pages, but that's fine. So, I've got 2 ready to go, and I'm going to show you how I get the third one ready. And what I do is open it at the centre, make sure everything is the right way up, the way I want it anyway, and then I use these large paper clips, at least 4 of them. These are not bulky pages, so 4 should be fine. Okay, so check again that push my thumbs down into that groove so they're all folded together, and then I open my telephone directory so that I can sit that fold into the fold of the telephone directory. I've got my template. I've marked the top on both of them so that we do everything the same way up. Even though everything's equal, it sometimes does make a bit of a difference. Centre this. It is slightly shorter than my book, so just make sure I've got the same gap top and bottom. Push it down into the crease and make my holes with this Tim Holtz retractable tool. Any awl will do. This would work as well. Make sure you don't move anything. And then once that's done, I just make sure that the holes are all the way through and that they come out right on the fold line, which is quite important. They don't need to be either side. We want them as accurate to that fold line as possible. Okay, so there's our 3 signatures, and you can see that I'm pretty equal across there with where my holes are sitting. Let's get rid of that. So we're going to sew them in to this spine, and we're going to start with the third one, the back one. I'm just going to rub that out now. Okay, so I've got waxed linen thread. This is the brand I use. I buy it online. Sorry, I can't remember where from. It lasts so long that I think this is only the second one I've ever bought. Number 25, cord 3, and it's quite a fine waxed linen thread. It's strong, and I use a smaller tapestry needle as I can. Tapestry needle has a big eye and a rounded end, which makes it much easier to stitch with. Thread that up, and I take my third signature and I'm going to start in the middle. So I'm going to go through my centre hole here, through the centre hole here, and pull that all the way through. The length I choose is about 2.5 to 3 times, 2.5 to 3 times the height of the book. The first one is always the hardest one, so I'm coming back through the next one up. There we go. Once we've got that in, we should be away. Okay, and then I'm going through the top one. Back up through that second one. Okay, and I just pull that, ease that through a bit, just so that's taut, and then I'm going to miss the centre hole. I'm going down to the fourth one, through that, into the bottom one, come up into the centre of the book again, Again, ease it tight, back down through the fourth one, and then back through the centre. This one can be a little bit of a challenge as well. When I come through the centre hole, I want this thread, oh, I've got a lot of length there, I want this thread and this thread to be on opposite sides of this one. Pull it gently, check on the back that it's taut, and tie it off. And I go left over right like that, and then back the other way, right over left. The wax thread will hold the knot pretty tight. If you've got any concerns about that, you can always put a dab of glue or something on there. So let's go to the paper clips. Okay, so that's our back signature stitched in. I'll show you the next one. I think I've cut these lengths of thread a little bit too long. Never mind. Okay, so again, check that we're all the right way up, the way I want it. That's fine. You will almost certainly, if you make any number of these, you will stitch one in upside down at some point, probably more than once. I certainly have. So down through the centre, go up one hole, through the book, down through the top one, back through that second one down. Sometimes you just miss, but just ease it out, take your time, and it should just go pretty steady. I've just eased that so that it's taut. Miss the middle hole, go down into the fourth one, up through the bottom, I can find it, that's just shifted slightly. If you struggle, just go back through the inside. Sorry, I think you've probably got my head. I'm so sorry. Back through the fourth. Too much, there we go. And then back up through the middle. And again, you need to check that you're coming up on the opposite side. Just ease that, hold it, check the back is taut, tie it off. Once I've got all three in, so knotted off, I'm going to leave these longish at the moment. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to finish those off. Once I've got all three signatures in, I go back through and I fold each page against the centre. Just crease it down like so, and then when you come to glue it in, you'll find that just helps it all sit a bit better. So do it from the centre out and then go back the other way. Do that on all three signatures. I'm going to sew the third one in now, which I'm going to leave the camera on in case anybody wants to have another watch of that. If not, I'll see you in the next video when we'll get it all stuck together and hopefully finished off nicely. So let's just stitch that through the centre. I've had a lot of practice at this. It can be, as you can see, it can be fiddly, and when you're learning, when you're first starting, you'll probably find this the hardest bit of the whole thing. I would just say take your time. You will get there, and it does get easier the more you do. Go down to the fourth one. Just checking that I've got everything tightened up through the bottom one. And then back up through the centre. Would lean over more. There we go, and come up on the other side of that centre. That's my needle. Ease it taut. Check on the back. This one I'm doing. Check that it's all taut. And tie it off. Rid of the paper clips. Fold your pages, and then you can see that we've got quite an even, hopefully very even set of pages, which will glue into our book like so. So I will come back and do the gluing, and we'll take it from there. Bye bye.